All right, welcome to class, everybody. I'm hoping that tonight's class actually goes shorter than normal because I don't really have a whole lot of additional new things to teach you. I think I went over all of the stuff that you need in order to be able to do the lab and the homework assignment last lecture. So I thought that I would start by seeing if anybody has any questions. If not, I'll probably just walk through. Okay, so somebody wants me to go over the assignment. I was about to say, yeah, I'll just go over the assignment again just to make sure that people kind of understand it. But other than that, I don't really have a whole lot of additional new things. I will point out that so we have normal lecture next week. We have a new topic called can't speak. We have a new topic called abstraction. And after we have that, then the quiz will be the following Tuesday. So that's coming up. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen. All right. Move some things out of the way here. Why is this here? Okay, and let me see. Get my chat thing up. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at the assignment. All right, this is it right here. All right. And so the first thing that you need to look at here, it says you're confused about what we are expected to do and also about methods mentioned. Okay, we'll talk about that. I kind of finished the assignment, just wanted to make sure, will the canvas make random shapes, not some specific design? Yes, it's basically going to be a bunch of random shapes, but they're not so random in the sense that everybody's random shapes picture should look the same. Okay, so, but yeah, it's basically just random. It doesn't look like anything in particular. Okay, so let's read through this and interrupt me if you have a question. So we're going to be talking about polymorphism. All right. And it says in this assignment, we will be creating 4 classes: a generic shape class that has a color attribute. Okay. So there's one class, and 3 subclasses: circle, square, and line. For this assignment, all attributes and methods can be public. Okay. The shape class, so this is the generic shape class, the parent class or superclass, should have a constructor that sets the color attribute. Color is a string. The default color is black. No other methods or attributes are needed. Okay, that's pretty straightforward, I think. Okay, yes, that's what it says. Only one attribute, the color attribute. Okay, then the circle class has additional attributes. Remember, circle is now a subclass of shape. Okay, circle has attributes X and Y that represent the coordinates of the center of the circle and a radius. Okay, so all of those are going to be numbers, integers. Okay, and then it should have a constructor which will set X, Y, and radius, and then also the color. Okay, so again, pretty straightforward. All right, next we have the square class. This also has attributes X and Y representing the center. But instead of radius, this one has side length. Okay, so it has 3 additional attributes, including color, which it inherits from shape. Okay, the line class has attributes x1, y1, which represent the starting point of the line, and x2, y2, which represents the ending point of the line. So it's got 4 attributes: x1, y1, x2, and y2. Okay, so you need to make a constructor for that. And of course, it also has a color the same way as these other ones do. Okay. Now, the circle, here's where the polymorphism comes into play. Okay. The circle, square, and line classes all have a draw method. Okay. And the draw method accepts one argument, a canvas object. Okay. Now, it actually accepts the self argument as well. Don't forget about self. But its one argument besides self is this canvas object. Okay. And a canvas, it's an object that's in this tkinter module, okay? And that's just a module. It doesn't have, I mean, this could be anything really, right? It just, in this case, it happens to be a canvas object, but I could have said, you know, the draw method is going to accept a foo object or a loan object or anything. This is no different. Just because it comes from the tkinter module doesn't mean that it's anything special. Okay, so this is a canvas object. All right. And the interesting thing about this canvas object is it allows you, it exposes a number of methods. Okay, so remember, the whole point of object-oriented design and object-oriented programming is to be able to reuse code in a nice, easy, convenient way. Okay. So somebody asked, what does it mean that it accepts only canvas object? Okay, can anybody answer that? What do I mean when I say it accepts one argument? Okay, I feel like that should be pretty standard at this point, but maybe I haven't explained it well. Who can explain what it means that that the draw method accepts only the canvas object? What does that mean? Nobody knows? Scroll down, you have it set. I don't know what that means.
So it means that the tkinter module will create a canvas object, and so then that method takes that canvas object as an argument.
Yeah. Okay. So if we, let's look at the starter code that I put up there. Okay. All right. This starter code creates the canvas object. Okay, there it is. This is the canvas object right here. See this? Okay, so that's my argument. All right. If I write a function that accepts that as an argument, you know, define my function, okay, and I say I would like it to accept a canvas argument, then, okay, I can call it C, I can call it whatever, but then this is where you kind of do the, you know, if is instance C canvas, this kind of stuff, right? But the point is that this object or this argument, this thing coming into the function, we're expecting it to be a canvas object, okay? We don't want this to be a string or an integer or anything like that. We want it to be a canvas object. Why? Because canvas has these methods, okay? Like create oval and create rectangle. And so we want to be able to use this canvas object here inside of our function to execute these functions. Okay, so that's what our draw function is going to do. Okay. Now, the problem is that the functions don't cleanly map. Okay, and this is what I was trying to explain last time. All right. So in the canvas object, we have this create oval function. Okay. But our circle class has x, y, and radius. Okay, so the circle has x, y, and radius, but create oval, it doesn't have x, y, and radius. It has x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, so it has these 4 arguments, but circle has x, y, and radius. So because I'm a nice person, I actually gave you the formula to convert the attributes in the circle object. See how there's x here and y and radius, x, radius, y, radius. These formulas here convert the attributes in the circle object into the attributes that are needed by the canvas create oval method. Okay? So all your draw method has to do is do the calculation and then call create oval. Okay? At least for the circle class. For the square class, you're going to do the calculations, and then call create rectangle. Okay. And for the line class, you don't even need to do any calculations. You just call create line with the exact attributes that you already have in your line class. Okay. All right. And so here we see, okay. Oh yeah. Now I understand what you meant when you said scroll down, you have it set. Okay. I gave you the function header for what the draw method looks like. Okay. It'll be def draw. It'll accept the self argument. And then the second argument, canvas, is an actual canvas object from tkinter. Okay. And so these draw methods will do the transformation and then call the appropriate canvas method. Okay. So that's it. All right. Now, the only other wrinkle that I added in here is that you have to, read in this file, and then you have to do some, so basically what you'd have to do is you'd have to read in each line. Each line corresponds to an object. So you'd have to grab this first item here and say, oh, okay, if the first item is a line, then create a line object. If the second item, if the first item is a circle, create a circle object. If the first item is a square, create a square object. And then these are the parameters or the arguments or attributes that you're going to set for the particular shape in question. Okay. And then once you've read in all of those into these objects, okay, I say that I want you to create a new object and add that object to a list of shapes. So you're going to have this giant Python list that has circles and squares and lines. And then you're going to loop through that list and call the draw method. Okay. And if you do it correctly, it should draw a big picture with all kinds of squares and circles and lines all over it. Okay. They look fairly random. Okay. But yeah, but that's basically, in fact, hold on. I'm going to stop my share for a second because somebody in this class actually already did the assignment and sent me it. And so I am going to pull it up here really quick so I can show you what the thing looks like. Let me see. Okay. Sorry, bear with me for a second here. Okay. So, all right. So this is what it looks like right here. Okay. This is if you've done the assignment correctly, then it's going to look something like this. Okay. It's going to actually pop up this thing. You're going to see all kinds of colored lines and squares and circles and stuff all over the place. Okay. All right. Now it's actually, again, it might seem intimidating, but it's actually not that difficult. Okay. If you just follow the instructions very, very carefully, I think you'll see that it's actually not all that bad. Okay. Particularly because I did all of the hard work for you. I figured I, gave you all those formulas. Okay. So that is the assignment. Okay. The lab is considerably simpler than this. Okay. Because the lab just has, let me pull up the lab here really quick. Okay. All we're doing in the lab is we're just kind of demonstrating at a very rudimentary level polymorphism. Okay. And so we're creating these classes. Okay. And they're subclasses, just like in the assignment. Okay. And they have this common method play. Our assignment has the common method draw. This one here, this lab has the common method play. And this play doesn't do anything sophisticated. All it does is just print out a message. Okay. And so then we're just going to create a list, and we're going to put in football players, basketball players, and baseball players. Then we're going to loop through it and call the play method. Then we're going to create another class and add it to the list. Then we're going to loop through it, and we're going to, okay, so this is all just kind of to try and reinforce the concepts of polymorphism, okay? All right, so 15 minutes, got it all done. So does anybody have any questions about anything in the lab or the programming assignment? Because this is literally all I have today. If there are no questions, we can be done in 15 minutes. So either put it in the chat or start talking. Otherwise, we're going to have a very short class tonight, which is excellent. Ooh, what could it be? No questions? Okay. Well, in that case, then, if there are no questions, then I think we are done. Thank you all. Have a good night. We'll see you on Tuesday.